Shalom, shalom, beloved. So, as you probably have already noticed, I haven't been on YouTube for more than a week. I haven't shared any videos. I've been taking this time to do some fasting, but not like regular fasting. I have been eating, but I've been trying to avoid, posting any videos, pastries, because I love pastries. Not just something sweet, but like an actual pastry. I think it's a Puerto Rican thing, the pastry liking, and so I've been trying to avoid that, and yeah, posting here. Even though when I post videos here on YouTube, it's like really just sharing, like an outreach to you. Of course, you guys reach out to me, which is a blessing. So it goes both ways. But I just really felt in my heart that I needed to not post for a while and needed to pray, praying for things going on in the world. Not pray for them, but share with our King our hearts, our thought. Not just I, but others have been joining in a fast, and so we're about to have this day, the 20th, come. When I post this, it might be the 20th. It might be after. Since I would like to end this YouTube fasting, so to speak, about that time. So I don't know when you're going to be viewing this, but regardless, I think not only up to this point, the 20th, but even after, it's a great time to just be in prayer and fasting. Well, we're always supposed to be in prayer, but in fasting. And that is something I've done more of. I should always be doing more prayer, but I've been doing more than the normal amount of prayer during this time. And it's been very refreshing, just very peaceful, really. And any time I felt any sense of fear, it's not that Abba's presence isn't there with me, but it's like Satan is so angry about that beautiful presence. I mean, he just tries to do whatever he can to deter us from that peace and that beautiful, sweet spot, sweet space, with our King. So then you get to just praise God even more and pray even more and rest in Him. And there's been something I really wanted to share with you guys. As you know, God speaks to me through music, through the music. He speaks that way. He also speaks to me through the animals, watching them, experiencing life with them. And so I wanted to share with you something that He shared with me that really just brought me to tears, good tears, a good stirring of the heart as a result of something that happened with some of my little critters. And I believe you'll be blessed for it, to hear it, and hopefully, I pray, stirred to also make a difference and to do something today. So I'll just go ahead and get into that. What happened was, first of all, my hens, almost every single one, has simultaneously decided, all at the same time, in the smack middle of winter, sorry, that's my phone, to sit on eggs to hatch. Now, for a lot of people, this time of year, their chickens aren't laying. My chickens actually have been laying, but I guess this is their way of saying, hey, we're on break. We're going to just sit on the eggs, not lay anymore, hatch some babies. Which really isn't a break because, the chickens are fasting these imminent fasts during their time of sitting on the eggs too. They sit on the eggs and they, for a couple days at a time. Sometimes then they get up, eat real fast, drink real fast, and they get back on the nest so the eggs don't get too cold. So they're like fasting too, So anyways, my chickens have decided, as if it was planned, simultaneously to have this fast themselves, sitting on eggs. And so, anyways, one of the hens, she just hatched some chicks. She's a first-time mom. And so she's not real, she loves her babies, but she's not real good yet with taking care of them. So yesterday morning, I came out to the coop with what I thought was going to be a very sad, well, it was a sad scene. I thought it was going to be a very sad situation because, at least for me, I know for those of you who are chicken farmers, this happens all the time, but for me, small little farm, and I know all the chickens, all the critters have names. For me, it's a deal. Where there was two chicks that one was flat on the coop floor. I thought for sure it was dead, and then the other one was eyes closed, shaking so bad I thought it was about to die. That the mama hen had just somehow they got left behind, and being winter, of course, it's actually crazy that the one that I was seeing that was shaking so bad, wasn't dead already, because I thought it's winter time. This is so. Anyways, I thought I was gonna have to go ahead and bury one and the other one pretty soon. So I gathered up the chicks in my hands, and I couldn't believe it that the one that was literally just flat, and I thought was dead, it was breathing, and it was still alive. I just thought, wow, this is crazy. The other one, it was chirping even though it was obviously about to die. So, I started praying, and I took them directly under to a heat lamp, held them right up under it, and I started to massage them and just pray, and within a matter of, I don't know, 20 minutes, they were almost like back to normal already again, and then a little bit later, just back to normal. And I literally witnessed like life from the dead, a miracle. I mean, the one that was shaking so bad and its eyes closed but still kind of standing, I guess you would think maybe, but not really. Maybe there's a shot it'll live. Other one, it was, not only, I should say, was it flat on the ground, but it had its legs out, like in the same position when a bird is dying or has died. So I didn't have really any hope, and yet I really wanted to see that baby even come back to life. So it was a miracle, really. It really was to see them. So they're back with their mom now. She's actually doing a little bit better. Plus the chicks, every day they get bigger. Baby chicks grow fast. So the faster they grow, the better it will be for them, so they can run faster to their mom, their forgetful mom. Bless her heart, she's doing the best she can. Not only is she a first-time mom, but she has quite a few chicks, so that makes it a little more difficult. But yes. So here's the thing. Later that night, well, that would have been last night. Our king really touched my heart because he spoke to me. He spoke to my heart. I don't like to say that God said this, God said that, but I know when his spirit, it's like his spirit speaks to our heart. It's like, something really intimate and special between him and us. And so he stirred my heart to open my eyes as he shared that joy, that excitement that I had about seeing these babies come back to life, these little baby chicks. Even though these chicks are precious, they are. I mean, what does it say that he even notices when a sparrow falls? But how much more a human being, a human baby, and every single day, babies are aborted. Every single day. And so how much more happy, joyed, excited is our King when one of those babies is not aborted and is saved. And although I'm pro-life, and I have always spoken about that, I really haven't done anything other than talk. Actions speak louder than words. And so it was like a real stirring of my heart and just these tears, because it's like, oh my God, these babies every day. I mean, and how wonderful if even just one is saved, even just one of those chicks. Yesterday, even if just one was going to make it, I was going to be happy, even though I wanted both to make it. And I actually have gone ahead and reached out to a friend who knows a pastor what he does actually is he goes to abortion clinics, and he doesn't yell at anybody, he doesn't make anybody feel awful, because I know there's some people that do that. He's just there to talk lovingly to pregnant mothers who a lot of times they don't want to be there, but they are so lost. They don't know what to do. You know, the father doesn't want the baby. Maybe the father doesn't even know about the baby, and they're just, you know. And from an emotional standpoint, not only is an abortion, you know, losing a baby's life, but I don't think a lot of people know the emotional damage it does on a mom, a human being, really. I mean, just a mom, but yeah, a human being, when her baby's taken from her. Even if she thinks it's okay, there is this deep emotional issue. You know, there's studies out there on it. You don't have to take my word for it. There's studies out there on it. And so even for not just the baby, but the mother, the mom, for her help, how important it is to encourage her to have the baby. That there are resources. You know, this pastor, he goes and he shares that there are resources, and he can help them with getting a free ultrasound, things like that. Such an amazing thing. And so in the last 8 months, this pastor, I found out that 5 babies have been saved. You know, in my state, I didn't even know, being a part of the Bible Belt, I didn't even know we had any abortion clinics. We don't have just one. We have like 4 of them. I couldn't believe it. I mean, this is the Bible Belt, and there's like 4 abortion clinics. So every day we have babies that are lost. Since 1973, over 70 million babies have been aborted. I know that the government, people in high authority want to not even say baby, they want to say fetus. They don't want to distinguish it as a human life. But if you see, there's countless videos out there where you can see the baby's even at 8 weeks in the mother's womb. The heartbeat, you know, pretty soon a little smile. So I just really have been stirred to not be quiet anymore, because we want to be upset. I know a lot of you, including myself, we want to be upset about, you know, we don't want to be upset, but we want to talk and make noise about our rights being taken away with censorship and all that. But you know what? We have been quiet all this time that these human babies have had no rights at all. Forget censorship, no voice at all. They've had no voice, nobody's standing up for them. That's in this country, of course, all over the world, but in this country, which is supposed to be a God-fearing, Bible Foundation country, we have stood still and quiet, even if we say it's wrong, when it comes to abortion. Because of, I don't know, political correctness, wanting to get somebody, not wanting to get anybody upset. But no matter what, no matter which way you look at it, abortion is murder. That's exactly what it is. And it's important to, you know, as much as we hate that, it's also important when I talk about this too, though, to have a heart and love for the mothers, because a lot of them, they don't want to have an abortion, but they're scared. And so I thought about that a lot lately, actually, to today, that it makes me upset, angered to see what kind of things are being taken. You know, people don't think it's that big of a deal, but it is a big deal with the censorship online. I mean, it's been happening in communist countries for years. And so just the fact that it's starting here, a lot of people don't think much of anything about it. They think that it's justified. I tell you, freedom of speech, even if somebody down the street is saying lies, it's still freedom of speech. I don't want them to say lies, but it's freedom of speech. So when that is taken, you know, everything that America fought for, it's gone. But listen, we lost. We lost when we allowed abortion to be okay. When we allowed murder to be okay. It says in the Torah, it says in the commandments, do not murder, right? It's a pretty important one. And that commandment has been broken over and over and over again. Because, listen, beloved, just because you yourself have not been part of an abortion, so to speak, if you have been quiet, and this is to me too, then we have been part of it. We have been part of the crime. Blood is on our hands. There's no doubt about it. So, if God decides to punish America, sure, nobody wants that, but are we really innocent? Are we? No, we're not. We're not innocent. We have been quiet year after year. And you can't tell me, with the studies done, and you can see for yourself, the baby's already having expressions in the mother's womb. You would just be crushed the moment that you see a baby when it's getting aborted. How horrifying it is. And I'm going to tell you something else, beloved. I'm not one to share dreams and stuff because I think some people take it too far. I've said that before too. But God does speak to us in dreams. He does. I don't think you should base your whole life off of dreams, but certainly God does use dreams to speak to us. And I had a dream. It's interesting because it's all around the same time that I've been really convicted to these things in my heart. I had a dream in which I was like fighting for my life, and it was I won't go into detail, but it was like a situation where I was being closed up, and I was trying to just get through all of this rubble, if you will. And what I realized is that even though we don't have, they say we don't have memory of what's happening in our mother's womb, we might not have memory that we can retell, but we are able to feel, we are able to sense, we are able to experience in the mother's womb. And so when the babies are aborted, you cannot tell me that they are not feeling and sensing that death, because they are. The look on the baby's face, the expressions, the fighting, because there's a desire, a will to live, the kicking, the moment of trying to abort the baby's trying to struggle to live. So this nightmare I had where I was fighting for my life, which I made it through, by the way, I believe God was confirming that to me, that this is what it's like for these babies in the womb. They are fighting for their life. And no one is out there to bring them to that heat lamp. Nobody's out there to carry them. Like when I was telling you about the baby chicks, there are a very few out there on the front lines. And I understand that maybe some of you aren't able to physically go someplace. I know some viewers that watch my channel, you have disabilities and you can't. But let me tell you, you can also be praying. And prayer, it's not some magical power, but it's a talk with God himself, the Almighty himself, who listens to our petitions, who listens to us. If we could just take 5 minutes every morning to pray for the unborn, just 5 minutes, that was going to make a difference, because God is going to hear us over and over again. We're not to be silent, it says. Make your petitions known to the Lord. So, I don't want rights to be taken away. I don't want our religious freedom to be taken away. I know there's a lot of talk about that in America with everything going on. But on the other hand, I cannot be angry at God if that is what's coming up, because we have been quiet. And I don't know about you, but I'm not going to be quiet anymore. I'm not just going to, I haven't been quiet, I've talked about it, but I'm not going to just talk. I'm going to do whatever I can. Because every single day, just like those little baby chicks that were dying, every single day we have babies dying, babies that can be saved. Not just the baby, but think about this, beloved, an opportunity to, if you can, find a way to get in touch with people, ministries, people who are already doing this in your neighborhood, in your city. Find a way to meet with people at these clinics, to go with these people, because you're not only giving an opportunity for a baby to live, but also to share the love of Y-shua with a mother who's hurting and lost. I can't imagine anything more amazing and beautiful than, it's like as I was sharing with a friend of mine, a win-win situation. a soul and a baby. Well, hopefully 2 souls, yeah. And even the father. Yeah. I was blown away by one story I heard where this man who'd gone to a clinic to share that a lot of times the mothers they speak with actually are self-proclaimed to be Christian, and he was saying that should give you an idea of really the state of our faith. The churches is what he said. I mean, I have the same faith as Y-shua being the Savior, but I know that a church is different than a Messianic synagogue. Well, you guys know that too. Those of you who've viewed for a long time, things are a little bit different. But we have the same faith that Y-shua is the Messiah, that he came and died for our sins and rose from the dead, that we may have life in him if we choose to follow and believe in him. So anyway, so I was just blown away to hear that, because I was like, oh my goodness, if that is true, that's horrifying. How many people, believers, really think that it's okay, or that God will forgive them? Well, sure, God forgives us of sin, but we're not supposed to take for granted his salvation, his forgiveness. I mean, what is that to say, I know it's wrong, but he'll forgive me? I don't know. It's kind of like being at a store, stealing something and saying, I know it's wrong, but God will forgive me. And how many times? Once? Twice? God forgive us all and help us all. He will forgive, but at a point, there's also, when you keep saying that, there's also a disregard for really who God is. Because God is one of truth and compassion, and really what's best for us and for everyone. And I'm guilty of that. I know I am. We all are. So I pray and be praying. It's just really been on my heart. I have been praying for our nation. I have been praying for our leaders and everything going on. But also just aware of really why, if we lose freedoms, why we're losing them. If we cannot stand up for those who've already lost their freedom, it's, yeah. So, I saw a video that I'm planning to post a link of, if I can remember, below, maybe in the comments. A video I saw that the same pastor I was telling you about showed. It's not exactly the same one because, well, it is the same video, the first part, but he added like a little scene of a baby in the womb with the heart beating. And that's not in this video, so I'm not sure how they did that, but I want you to see this video if you have some time. I know in the day and age where everybody's sending each other videos, it's hard to even have time to read, to watch some of them. One of them, I get that. I get people sending me stuff all the time. It's like, I don't have time to watch all these. Sometime maybe one a week when I have a moment, but I don't have time to watch all these. So whenever you have time, it is gonna make you cry, but it is actually based on a true story. And they titled it, next to it, it says persecuted church because of what they added at the end. But in the first part of the video, at least even what the true story is about, it's about basically a church standing idly by while Jewish people were taken to the Nazi concentration camps in Germany. And so this man decided to tell his story, a true story based on a true story. And it'll make you cry, but it's a good thing, because a good kind of crying, because we need to be stirred that way. And the reason why this pastor shared this with the babies unborn, because he was really reflecting on the fact that that's another Holocaust that's happening that we don't say anything about. It's no different. Just because the babies can't talk in the womb, it's no different. I'm sure a lot of people thought that Jewish people didn't have a right to talk because that's how messed up their ideology was. And so, there's a lot of people that feel that way now. It's like, if they could give a voice to the voiceless in the womb, my goodness, what would we hear? A cry out for help. So, I encourage you, when you have the time, watch this video. And hopefully, I do hope you are stirred to do all you can to get connected with people locally who maybe are already taking a stand for the unborn. That's really what I want to put my time into when I can. I know you guys are probably wondering what happened with the prison ministry deal way back that I spoke about that didn't end up happening. I still hope to do that in the future, but with another group maybe. The people organizing it, or the person I was in contact with, it's just that it didn't work. One wonderful person, wonderful people, and my heart goes out to them, and I pray that God blesses them with the ministry. But it was like, also the timing was not good either. I was trying to do things and I didn't have time. Well, sounds bad. I didn't have time at that time. Resources. It costs money to drive places, and at that time I was really not doing so great either. So it's more than one thing, but I do hope to eventually find a way to go out and to minister at the prison. I do hope to do that. It's really not so much that I realize that I'm ministering. Actually, the people, the believers in the prison are really who's I know are going to minister to me, because what do I have to offer for what they've gone through and what they've had to endure, really? So it's a very humbling thing even for me to think about. So, yes, those are some things I wanted to share. So, glad I got to share those things. Also, yes, okay, that's right. That's what I wanted to tell you too. My physical album, the new one, even though you can download it, get it online that way, if you were one of the people who wanted the physical album, I got a message saying that I should get my box of CDs anywhere between February 5th and February 9th, I think, if I remember correctly. Or maybe it was the 11th. That's quite a range of days. But basically, you can kind of say first or second week of February. Whoops, I forgot that I had that open, sorry. So, yeah, if you want that and you want me to get it out to you right away as soon as the CDs come in, because like right now we're still in January, but February's coming up pretty soon. But feel free to email me. I've got my public email that I always post in the description of my videos. I can also put it in the comments though, if that's easier to view it. But yeah, you can send me an email, and then I have more than one option that you can use to get a CD. There's my PayPal. You can send 20 to that. Or was it 25? It's like the CD itself is 15, but then I add the shipping cost, which is almost close to $5. And then it costs me money to drive to the post office, but suggested $20 at least. Oh no, actually, wait, that's right, it was 25 because, okay, I'll tell you why. Other thing is that PayPal, unfortunately, they take about, a couple dollars off whenever you send something. And so, that's not your fault. It's not my fault either. That's just the way PayPal works for their service. So if possible, suggested donation of 25. And then I will sign it. I will send it to you. But yeah, you can do PayPal, or if you want to do cash or check, you can do that too, to my P.O. box, which I also have in the description of my video. You can send it there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down your names, your information, so that as soon as the CDs are here, I can get that out to you guys. But they should be here anywhere, like I said, between February 5th and February 9th or 11th. I don't know why I keep saying 9th. I guess I've got 9 in my head, but yeah, I'm excited. It's got Hebrew, English, and Spanish on it. So if you're wanting something that's just English, I'm sorry. There's a little bit of everything on there. If you're wanting something that's just Spanish, I'm sorry. A little bit of everything. If you want something that's just Hebrew, again, a little bit of everything. That's just the way that it is. I mean, when I sing places, I add all those languages. Just reaching out to the broader community of people. I have a mixed background, so I like to celebrate that too in my worship. So yeah, it's got a little bit of everything. And if you're new and you did not know, I still have another CD available. So you can think about maybe a package deal. My CD called Tikva the Hope. If you don't have that one, there's that. And but the new one is called Thank You for the Rain, the Spiritual Rain. And here's a cool thing, I guess I should mention. I actually started to write a little book about those songs. I don't know if I said this or not with you guys already, maybe I did, but I started to write a little book, really the stories behind each song. I don't know why, I just felt like doing that. So eventually, if you want, you'll actually be able to have an opportunity to get a little book that talks about each song. But I will say this though, Thank You for the Rain, the picture, the name, when Abba gave me that song, I was sad. It was a rainy day. I was outside in the rain. This was like more than 7 years ago. But finally got on a CD. But I was outside, yeah, in the rain. And I just started to praise God and sing my heart out. And this song came as a result. Just, I wasn't even by my harp or by the piano. I just started singing in the rain. And it was like I was dancing there with God. And it was just fantastic because he truly lifted up my spirit. I went from being sad and just kind of downcast to just so happy. A really great thing to keep in mind if you ever feel sad, you had a hard day, and that sadness is not from our King. There is a time for that, but it's not from him. Just start praising him, and I guarantee you, even dancing while you're crying, I guarantee you it's going to turn around. I've done that before. I have started dancing my heart out while tears were coming down, and it wasn't long before I was just smiling, so happy, and it just, because that's the way God is. God is inhabited in this people, and as we praise him, he is there. So yeah, so it's good. So yeah, that's why that cover has that with the rain, and so that song is on the CD, Thank You for the Rain. But I thought it'd be really cool to actually base off the name of the CD with that too. Just thanking God, yes, for the spiritual rain and the physical rain. It's great to get rain. It really is. But yeah. So I've already been talking for a while. I did actually want this video to be kind of long because I'm going to premiere it, and I want to be able to talk with you guys while it's playing. Even though I've already spoken in the video, but chat with you, since I like to do that. And so yeah, so I didn't want it to be too short so I could still talk to you guys, but wanted it to be kind of long so we could have a good conversation. But I think 30 minutes is fair. We could talk for 30 minutes. Gotta get back to work, gotta get back to prayer, and trying to not eat pastries. Yes, it's gonna be hard. We got one more day left, so today and tomorrow, I guess. I don't know, maybe to the 21st. I know some people are going to the 21st, so maybe we'll see if I can make it. I love you guys very much. If I haven't responded to something, I do apologize. Like I said, though, when I have been away from YouTube, so there's that. Plus, if you really, a lot of times if you put something in a comment, I don't always see it. So emailing is good. And I don't always see my emails either because, which is sad, I know, but my email, for some reason, I don't know why, it takes some emails to my junk folder, like spam folder. So I go back there and I look for that, but sometimes I forget to do that. So I am sorry. Just try to email again if that's the case. Of course, I'm not going to respond to emails that there's no reason to respond to because it's about, I don't know, how wonderful peanut butter is. I don't know. I'm just using a silly example. Yes, but if you have something on behalf of the CD, or a faith-related question, or something you want me to be praying for, please feel free to email about that. Do not email me about how my hair should have been brushed a certain way, or how my eye should not have been twitching quite that way, or don't send me emails about that. But faith-related, in brotherly, sisterly love, yes, you'd be surprised. Well, that's why I mentioned that about everything else. But for the most part, I don't really get that. So thank you all. Yes, so I better go. Love you guys. Bless you. Shalom, shalom. I really feel like saying the Aaronic benediction, but I don't know. Like whispering it though. So maybe I will say a blessing. If you know the Aaronic benediction, Shalom. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May He cause His countenance to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up His face upon you and give you shalom, peace. I think I got part of that mixed up, but bless you. May you go forth with joy even in the times of hardship, as our King is a roaring lion who is here to defend His people for all time. Amen. Love you guys. Oh, I didn't turn it off. Sorry. This is like an awkward moment of silence there because I'm thinking I turned it off. Okay, now I'm turning it off, I think. Bye. Shalom.